Morning, Spooky. What? Yeah, it was cold. It was 41 degrees this morning. Can you believe it? Here in deep South Alabama? I lost my mind. Yeah. Stella, are you enjoying the outside? Yep. Did you survive the 41 degrees? The Arctic blast to the south? You did? Oh, okay. I know you did, sweetie pea. Look at you and Spooky. Y'all getting along just fine. He doesn't even hiss anymore, does he, baby? No. Well, as you can see, Spooky and Stella, they're doing just fine. And everything, if you listen, is all right in our world here in the deep south. Well, hello there, friends and family. I was just talking to the Spooky and Stella there. You know, the big kitty, which both are right behind me right now. They got my back. And I know many of y'all do too. But it's a sunny, bright day. Slightly partly cloudy here. But I woke up this morning, 41 degrees. Now, Stella, you my baby. Spooky, you my man. You would think, well, I'm sure many of y'all that don't live here in the deep south are probably laughing at us right now. Aren't they, Stella? Of course, you can see Speedy there. She's coming up, sitting by her brother, Spooky. Looking fine she is, my little princess of the yard. Got her tail up. And of course, there's the Elrod. Yep. He's here too. And I'm sure somewhere out there on the lawn's rod is Cleo. Yep. Probably having a late morning, I would think, nap. So yeah, we came on out early this morning to give them their chow, because that's something that's really important when it's really cold. You know, animals burn a lot of calories when the temperatures drop, just like you will if you experience them yourself. And old Mr. Tom, did he turn on his heat for this here cold snap we got right now? No, the answer to that would be absolutely not. Nope, no heat in the house. And when the sun started to wane yesterday and go beyond the horizon and the temperature started falling, I still had doors open. In fact, I didn't shut them doors up till almost midnight. Yeah. So, yeah, the house was chilly. But we got our long sleeve thermal shirt on. We got some jeans, socks, you know. We were fine. But around midnight, we closed up the house. And then when I awoke this morning, I awoke to, well, inside the house, it was about 66 degrees. I mean, ain't nothing, folks. Nothing to panic about. Now I gotta say one thing for the old house. Not sure whether it's magic or God or what. It does pretty darn good, all things considering, unless it stays really, really cold for a really long time. Yeah. But the reason we came out this morning and brought y'all along with us is we got a few things we got to check out here in our small garden planting. Yep. So I thought since I was going to do it anyway, I'd bring you all along. So let's take a look at it real quickly. So you can see we got our corn here. It ain't much. 3 stalks. It's basically got up about 5 foot or higher. It's starting to tassel. Look at that. Pretty unique, right? No, not really. But what is unique You see right there? Look at that. Look at the silks on that. About to be ear corn. Got another one right over here. But let's check the third one. Nah. Third one looks like it ain't gonna produce. Now let me tell you something. Even though these got silks, then the top's got tassels. Since this is just such a slim planting, the chances of it pollinating well and the ears filling out well ain't good. I'm just gonna say that right now. And that's because you need to plant your corn in blocks. Yeah. Now I could cut the tops of the tassels off and sprinkle all that lovely pollen on the silks. And that's probably where I'll be going. But next we're going to check our squash. Oh, so as you can see, we got a nice looking squash there. Woo, look at that. Looks really nice. Plenty of blossoms. Albeit I will say all these are male. Yep. Surely are. But they'll be yummy to eat. And we got to pick this squash today. Bring her on in the house. Now you'll notice it's really deep yaller. And a lot of people pick them when they're pale yellow. I let them go just a tad longer. 'Cause let me tell you something about summer squash. You let them go a little bit longer, they get a little bit more nutty flavor. Yes, they do. But while we're here sitting admiring that nice squash, why not have a squash blossom or two? Yep, they're still tasty. And our little green bell pepper plant here, starting to Cadillac, starting to give us some nice green bell peppers. Yep, got us another one right there, another one coming on pine there as well. Look at that nice jewel right there. But I'll tell you a secret, it's got where something's crawled up in it. Yep. Well, that's just life. But it's got many more peppers forming. And I guess, you know, when you look at all this, you think it's not much. And it's not. But, you know, this was just to show you what you can do in a small space during the harshest of conditions. Because those of you who follow the channel and follow this little space right here, you know these were planted in the middle of summer. And they have survived, or I've helped these little ladies all survive, one of the worst summers that we've seen here in the Deep South in a long, long time. A spring and summer that has destroyed many of y'all's gardens out there. And if not, limited your production. And I have always grown through the summer, where most people here in my area, yep, by the time July comes, it's a done deal. But here, we try to do our best to bring her on through. And that's why I'm showing you this. Because there might become a time in y'all's life where you may actually have to depend on your ability to grow throughout the year. But we got our little second squash plant here. She's looking fine too. You'll notice we got another fine looking squash there. Got another couple of babies right there. Oh yeah. Some more male blossoms. Here's one that's ready to become a yummy treat. which I might add. Here's another male. If you're eating your blossoms, make sure you're picking the males. Mm-mm. Those are tasty. Yep, FedEx arrived. Now, what did FedEx bring us? There's a big old box on the porch. We'll have to look at that here in a moment. I sort of suspect what it is. I have an inkling anyway. But back to the little old garden spot. You can see old Spooky and Elrod there. They right here, making sure old Mr. Tom's okay. But as you can see, oh yeah, these here rattlesnake Kentucky Wonder hybrid beans, they still producing blossoms. Yep, they got some leaf cutter wasp damage, but look at the beans. See right there? You'll notice, I want you to pay attention, since these are a cross that I've been growing now. This is their third season between Kentucky Wonder and rattlesnake pole beans. See, you're gonna see something. See, it's all nice and green. There's another one. There's some more. And you head on up there, you'll see a couple small ones and plenty of blossoms. Let me show you something real quick. Here's the same Kentucky Wonder cross rattlesnake pole beans. Look at that right there. See that purple striping? Oh yeah, that is an indicative trait of rattlesnake pole beans. And the more sun they get, the more of that there purple striping they'll have. See them right there? See this one right here? And we go on up. They're way up there. Yeah, I have to use an extension ladder just to pick them. So why is that important? It's like I say, these are a cross. They cross-pollinated because back in 2019, I planted Kentucky Wonders in one area very close to where I planted my rattlesnake pole beans. And over the course of the growing season in 2019, then later in the fall into late winter, as I left some of the pods on both of those plantings, and that I let them dry. And I wouldn't find out. I think it was 2018. Anyway, those of you who've been here a while probably know better than I do. But it was one of the other years, 2018, 2019, they had cross-pollinated. And because of that, I came up with these. And I think it was in one of those years, 2019 or 2020, I started munching on these in the garden. And oh my, they were some of the juiciest beans I've ever ate in my 65 years on this here planet. They surely were. And darn right tasty. So, yeah, at that point, I decided to start saving the seeds and growing them out every year, developing them. You know, that's what exactly happens with vegetables and all crops. It's the way we used to do it. By cross-pollination, new varieties would pop up. People would keep saving the seed, picking out the best with the best traits, and carrying on the seed line until they stabilized. Yeah, and you see that all the time in your garden seed catalogs. They're called hybrid seeds. Now there's a whole bunch of folks out there that get GMO mixed up with hybrid, and they think hybrid's a bad thing. Of course, they think GMO is a bad thing, and if you really want to think about it, by cross-pollination and crossbreeding, we've been doing genetic modification since man first stepped on the earth. But that's a whole nother subject. And people get sort of radical about it. So I'll leave it at that. These beans here, woo, they going way up there too. And they got plenty starting to pop on them. All up there. Yeah, see? They got a little leaf damage from leaf miners. Not much. Got some leaf cutter damage up there. And that's 10 feet or more up. Yep, gotta get a big ladder. But they're doing fine. And I will guarantee you this, for 99.9% of my area, there ain't no beans growing. But then we're gonna look at these here better boys here. You know, my better boy bush. They're looking fine too. Imagine that. And like I say, those of you who've been watching this know that these 4 plants, when I planted them back in July 21st, they just looked like they were about to die and give up the ghost. Yeah. They were just severely suffering from Spatoria leaf spot. But I put them in, I treated them with my hydrogen peroxide and water solution, which if I wasn't a firm believer in 2018 and beyond, I definitely am now. And then, during late August, September, they got black. Late black. And that's, for most parts, like I've told you, everything you can read, that's pretty much a done deal. They're finished. It will kill the plants. But as an experiment, something I'd never tried before, I decided to treat them again with that hydrogen peroxide and water solution. And some of the leaves are still got a little damage. But I want you to look at the green, the growth, the new blossoms flourishing since the temperatures have come out of the 90s. Oh yeah. Look at that. More blossoms. More blossoms. So we gonna get more tomatoes? You bet. But this afternoon, we're gonna pick our first tomato. Ooh, look at this little lady. Now she ain't real big. Probably about, 4 or 5 ounces. That don't matter. Vine ripened. We're gonna pluck her on off. We're gonna get us out some of that there good old white bread. Some Duke's mayo. Oh yeah. Some nice fresh iceberg lettuce. And we're gonna pick this up. I made her sandwich. And we're gonna enjoy this to its fullest delectable taste experience imaginable. Yeah, we surely are. We're not going to adulterate it with any ham or turkey. But I'm proud of the tomatoes. And I learned a few things this year. One of which, excessive moisture is not a good thing to tomatoes. They'll get this here leaf edema, which is this here puckered area on the leaves, which you can see, like I told you, over time, it will clear up. Yeah, you can see right here in the new growth, there's hardly any. And you gotta watch over fertilizer. Yeah, because I'm guilty of that too. But overall, these better boys, they made it through the worst. The severe midsummer heat And all the excessive rainfall we got. Days and days and days and days of rain. Yeah. Which drives out all the oxygen in the soil. Which you might not know about plants. They also breathe through the roots. You can look that up. Yes, they do. But it's not only that attacks and hinders your garden production. It's the fact that diseases are also more prominent during excessive wet weather like we experienced all throughout the spring and summer of 2021. But the Cajun bell green pepper, yeah, she's a raggedy little thing. And I've tried my best to get her to be happy. Yep, everything likes to eat her. You know, I've said that many times before. Army worms ravaged her. Then came the inchworm, you know, cabbage loafer worm I showed you. They loved her, yep. And slugs, they love feasting on this here. For whatever reason, they will attack this Cajun bell first before they go down and feast upon my other green bell pepper, which is a bonnie bell, by the way. But she's got a few peppers. They ain't looking all too great. But I will tell you this, because I've ate one off her, a small one. Whew, these are supposed to be mild spicy. Maybe I'm just getting old. They light up your life. Now, our little squash plant down here that we plucked out of up there, you know, when we had 5 or 6 growing all together, it's never done much. Few blossoms, whatever. It's been fed, watered the same. So I know it wasn't all that. I think it just gets back to genetics. But I let her grow. She ain't hurting nothing here. Till I get ready to plant something in this here space come this Sunday. Because with these temperatures falling, oh yeah, it is more than time to get in my fall and winter greens. Oh yeah, and root crops. If you'd like, I can show you what we're going to do. It ain't nothing special. And here we are at the cucumber, little planting. And this year, since I planted them during the height of summer, something I haven't done before, we struggled keeping our cucumbers alive. Yes, we have. The searing heat would wilt all their leaves. We'd have to water them twice a day just to get them to make it through. But here again, you can see, as the temperatures have fallen on off, they are starting to climb to the sky, as well as be chock full of blossoms. Now, be it, these are all male. And the reason you can tell, there's just a little stem behind them. There's no little cucumber there. Let's go on down here and take a look. There's a little bitty tiny cucumber right there. You see it? Yeah, look at that. Then we go down here. There's a much bigger little cucumber. Now, since I'm not seeing many pollinators this time of the year, I took one of these little males, stripped the leaves back, to where I could get that little pistil, which is inside there somewhere. You know, let me see here if I can show you. See that little middle right there? Well, I stripped them leaves back to it. There was just that. Then what I did was I came in here, and you see
right there. Looks a little different. It just ain't one thing sticking out. Ain't that something? Man have one thing. There's 3 around the opening. Yep, this is female. And I took that male single pistol stem of pollen, and I stuck her on in there and rubbed her around gently, poked her a few times, and pollinated her up. And as you can see, since it's still Cadillacing, it took. Because if it don't take, the blossom's gonna fall off, little cucumber will shrivel up, start turning yellow. So we good to go. So apparently, we made her happy. But it ain't much. We got a couple plants here. Like I say, up till now they've struggled. Got us one right here. It's just starting to expand and climb. Yep, right there. This one here, she's starting to grow out again, a little leader. Because I missed an armyworm and one found it. You know, a fact that I learned from a viewer that I didn't know. Now, I've said you can eat the blossoms. Of course, you can eat the cucumbers, but I didn't know you could eat the leaves of a cucumber plant. But somebody turned me on to that. And not that I discredited her or didn't believe her. I checked it out. And you know what? She was exactly right. Now this corn plant down here is just pathetic. And it's about to meet the compost pile. You can see, ain't gonna have much pollen. Even though it's got a little bitty tiny bit of silks coming out right there. This whole plant didn't do good. Why? Lack sunlight. Yep. But the last thing we want to talk about is our cherry tomatoes. So yeah, the cherry tomatoes have struggled. You know, and you can see, they don't got quite as much foliage, and here again, they've had all the same fertilization and water. But we got them through. Probably, in my memory, one of the worst growing years we've had, at least the last 4 or 5. But they're starting to put on some blossoms and all that. See a little cluster right there. Oh, look at that. Baby tomato. And that, I never expected much out of these. Here again, lack of sunlight. This here area only gets a few hours of sun a day. And that's something I want to tell you right now. You know, I see it all the time on social media, YouTube, what have you, that people don't take the time to observe, note, write down how the sun comes up, crosses over, and sets on their property. Because that's extremely important. And depending on what latitude you live in, you know, I'm in deep south. Some are in the middle of the U.S. or the world. Some are northern. You're only going to get so many hours a day. And what I do here is based on what I get and the temperatures I see. What you may do in your area should be based on the sunlight that falls across your property during the course of a day and the temperatures you'll see. That's why no matter who you follow on social media, you got to understand. Yeah, can you still do like they do to some extent? The answer to that would be yes. Will you be as successful as they are based on what they're telling you? Well, that all gets back to how much sun hits the place you decide to grow in or can grow in, your environment, your climate, length of growing season, yeah, even right down to microclimate. So I see a whole lot of people buying land. And I was that way once upon a time, back in the late 70s. And I was Johnny on the spot the next spring. You know what? The best advice I can give anybody with new property is, yeah, go ahead and throw you something in. But no, it's most likely going to be temporary. Then take that first year to observe, to write down, and note how the wind comes across your place, predominantly from what direction throughout the year, how the sun lays upon the land, what areas get the most sun, what get the least. Write down how much rainfall you get. And then during these here chilly, colder months of late fall into early winter and throughout the darker winter, you can take that information and use it to plan out a successful growing season in the year to come. Now, I didn't talk about my little heat master, this little lady that struggled so much, and she's finally starting to show she can get her done. She got blossoms on her, got some right there. I think it's actually got a mate or so. Uh-oh. Darn it. Look what we got right here. Did you see that? I thought these were done gone. Right there's one of those inchworms, which is, yep, cabbage lopper. Done crawled up in that there heat master leaf. Made them a cocoon. And if we let them live, well, that'll be a moth that can lay hundreds of eggs. Now, we're going to have to say a prayer. Let's have a moment of silence right now. Okay, that's enough. So don't watch this, because she's going to caterpillar heaven. I'm just saying. Can't show it on YouTube. Hope you didn't hear the scream. But look right here. Look there, right there. See right there? See that mater forming? And another one right there. Then I know I had many distractors and doubters that I could even bring this little plant through the brutal temperatures of the deep south summer, let alone all the excessive rainfall and the resulting waves of disease that it brings. Oh yeah, I know, because I do these here little garden plot videos, which, yeah, granted, ain't much. You know, I think some people don't like it because I don't got, you know, just fields and fields. You know, since 2018, I've been promoting small garden. You know, you got a little patch of ground, you got some pots, you got a front porch, back porch, a deck, a terrace, a little strip down your darn sidewalk. You can grow too. And albeit it ain't gonna get you through the winter, but by growing, you'll be learning. Yeah. And even though I've been growing for now going on 50 years of my life, both to keep me and my family fed, even when I was a child and preteen and teen, but all throughout my life, for my own little family of 4 right here in deep south Alabama. Southern Tennessee, I grew commercially for many a year. And every year, no matter how much or how small, I've learned, just like this year here. And the important part of all this is a lesson that I will learn from it and carry on in years to come. Because old Mr. Tom, he ain't got no plans of going nowhere no time soon. I'm still working on 140. Okay, Spooky. Speedy. I know the Focus needs a wash job. Yeah, you know, Spooky. But hey, it's not the kiddie tower. Oh, it is? I guess it is. It's not like it's gonna get hurt none. Look, boys, get along. Okay? Get along, sing a song. So, y'all, thought I'd share my little planting with you and some of my thoughts, and maybe you can take them to heart. Maybe next year, if you didn't this year, maybe next year you'll buy a pot, 5-gallon container, or you'll look out in your little space, whether it's a balcony, a terrace, front porch, back porch, or maybe, you know, you're the lucky ones with, you know, an acre, 50 or more. And you'll take what you've learned here and you'll put it to good use. Well, like I say, this is for prosperity for my children and my grandson. And somehow I'm thinking that the world becomes what I hope it don't. They can always come and see old Papa Tom's videos and learn a thing or two too. Because I wish I'd have had this and I could have listened and watched my father, my grandfather, oh, my great-grandfather, as well as all my grandmothers. Oh, I'm thinking my life would have been so much more better. But just so y'all know, in closing, remember the little old squash plant that came up with all the rest that terminated in a single leaf? Yeah, we've let it grow. But as you can see, and as I've said in many videos, it was never going to be no more. And never is. As you can see right now. So y'all, we're going to have snack on a few more random squash blossoms. Enjoying that their sweet pollen. See upon my fingers. Now I got to make me up some tempura batter one day. Lightly fry some up. It ain't nothing but a snack. But you know, if you just happen to have some smoked salmon, oh, I'm telling you. Woo, your wife want to hug you and kiss you on the face. Yes, she would. So y'all, I know it wasn't much. Just want to take you along today in our cold, crisp, deep south of Alabama. Show you what we had going on. Show you off the little kitty crew. And of course Stella. I know y'all enjoy that. And I want to take a moment right now to thank all of y'all. Because a few of you have sent a few things to Stella. And Lord knows, the rest of you don't need to send nothing. I'm just saying. Someone sent some, oh, nice food. Rachel Ray's, delish. All beef, natural, organic. Yeah, sort of showed up my pedigree I bought her. But then, she was sent some jerky treats, a nice big toy, and then some turkey jerky. And that
and I'm ever so thankful. And you know Stella is too. And if you keep watching these videos, you might catch her in the act when she's either playing or munching down. But you'll never see it unless you keep track and come back home on occasion. But with all that said, understand Stella's well taken care of. She's got plenty of food, plenty of treats. So don't you think, oh, Mr. Tom ain't taking care of Stella. As you know, we take care of the little kitties, kitty crew. Yeah, Stella's a big kitty. And Spooky's up here checking out what FedEx brought us. Is that anything for you? Huh? See, what you don't know, Spook, I do know what's in that. Yep, that's from Walmart.com. And it come late. She's looking a little bruised up. But this gets back to the food shortages that I know are happening. And Mr. Tom knows, yeah, there are shortages off and on all across this country. And you know what? The reason really don't matter. But when I see a deal, I jump all on it. Well, what do you say, Elrod? You think that's for you too? Well, in a way it might be. But when I do, I try to alert you to my Prepper Pantry alerts on the community tab. But if you haven't subscribed, you haven't clicked on that bell, and then clicked on all notifications, you don't get to see them. You don't get to be part of the inner circle. That I might add, costs you nothing to join. Just subscribe, click the bell, and click all notifications. You want to know Mr. Tom finds a good deal. And I don't put up anything up there but good deals. I know my prices. Yep. Whether it's canned veggies, canned meat, canning jars, or what have you. Now don't waste your time. This right here happens to be a couple of canned meat products that I totally enjoy. As y'all know, you've seen me buy it many times. The Bumblebee Tiny Shrimp, oh yeah, that's in there. It only let me have 23 cans, so I got me 23. And I actually bought them for cheaper than at my favorite superfoods. Didn't we, Elrod? But that ain't all what's in that box from FedEx. I also bought something else I like, and I enjoy rarely, so it lasts several years. And that's canned crab meat. Now I know people up in the Northeast, on the Gulf Coast, on the West Coast, more canned crab meat? You gotta be kidding me. Well, here where I'm at, fresh seafood, as in most of my life, all the way from growing up and what have you, was slim to rare. Ain't gonna happen, and when you could, is expensive. But on a rare occasion, I can take out one of my most prized cans of crab meat, and I can make me a delectable delight. Yes, sir, for that night. And I may share that with y'all this year too. I don't know. All depends on how many hugs I get. So, I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you learned something along the way. If not, I hope you at least enjoyed the time you spent with this old man in the deep south of Alabama. And of course, Kitty Crew. And Stella too, which is out being neighborly. Oh, guess who showed up? Cleo, you showed up? Finally? Nice of you to make an appearance, you know. I know where you were. Double timing on me. So as you can see, Cleo saunders on in. And you know what she's wanting. Yep. She's wanting food. She's right at my feet, rubbing on my feet, my legs. Yeah. smoozing me up. Yep. She loves me, but she loves what the old man can bring on out. But that's okay. Isn't that the way it is in life? So, I do want to say thank y'all for spending your time with me. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate your comments, advice, tips, and tricks down in the comments below this video. And I know it may not be the same in most communities here on YouTube, but I know it is here. I got a whole pile of you people that read every comment just like old Mr. Tom does. And many of y'all go the extra effort to talk back and forth between you. And that is what makes this community special. Because indeed, we are a community. We care for each other. And I know over this year, and last year especially too, many of y'all have came forward feeling despair, loneliness, and you think you're alone. And I know we may be separated by great distances in real life. But we're not. In the mind and in the heart and in our prayer. And if you're a true believer, if you're a true person of faith, you know that those that are here, those of great faith and belief, they can cross those distances and be there with you and would want to be in person if they could in the hardest of your times. So one thing I want to leave you with is always remember, you are never alone when you're a part of this community. And even if you were not, you're still never alone. Because there is a God. There is power in the belief, and I've watched that over my entire life. And something I've said for the last 40 years in front of thousands in college campuses is if you can believe in it, you can achieve it. Why? Because I've seen it done, and I've done it myself. So y'all, take care. Stay safe out there. Prepare and ready yourself as you feel fit. And I do hope that you will be blessed by God as I pray for y'all, as you bless others. Can't stress the importance of that. Until we see y'all on the next video, myself, Cleo, which showed up late. She's down cleaning at my feet. Spooky, Speedy, Elrod. And we've been seeing a lot more of McGee. Try to catch him on the camera next time. And of course Gracie, which is holding down the house. See you on that next video. Stay safe. God bless. Goodbye for now.